Hi, good morning guys. Welcome to Preschool. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Okay, so today is a new week, which means we are going to start with all new things that we're learning today. Some of the things are a repeat, but it's going to be a fun week. All right, so first we're going to start with what? Our Pledge of Allegiance. Good job. Okay, so get out your right hand and put it on your heart and let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good job. Okay, so normally if you guys were wiggly and you were sitting here on the carpet, we would do something like play Ring Around the Rosie, or we would sing a wiggle song. But since there's not a whole bunch of you, we're going to just skip right to our calendar. Okay? All right. Now, it is still the month of April. Good. But we have gone another week, and now we are on this big number right here. Let's count to this big number and see what number this is. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Good. Today is Tuesday, April 14th. Awesome job, guys. Okay, let's sing our Days of the Week song. Are you ready? Let's do English, then Spanish. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado. Good job. Okay, now, do you guys notice that I added a new little square? It's probably hard to see from way over there where the camera is, but I forgot to add this. Last week we had a little guy here that was Easter, and we just had Easter, huh? But now we've got this new guy that I forgot to add to the calendar at the beginning of the month. This is Earth Day. Isn't that a silly holiday? It's called Earth Day, and it is a day that we can think about our earth and we can appreciate all the wonderful things that Heavenly Father has given us, and we can plant a plant, or we can do something good for the earth. If you see a piece of garbage, pick it up and throw it in the garbage. Like, just kind of help take care of our earth, because that's something that's really important. If our earth falls apart, then we don't have any place to live. So we'll talk more about that next week though. But I just wanted to let you know that I forgot to put that on at the beginning of the month. And then don't think I've forgotten this happy birthday right here. This one's coming up. You know who you are. You are William. William has a birthday coming up on the 21st. All right. So let's sing our months of the year song. But this time, when we sing it, instead of singing it normal, we're going to sing it. Let's see, how should we sing it? Should we sing it like a princess? All right, here we go. January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. Good job. Should we sing it one more time like a robot? Let's sing it like a robot. Okay, ready? Here we go. January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. That one was kind of hard, huh? All right, good job. Okay, now, this week we have new things that we're learning, okay? Now, this is not new to you guys. This is a shape we've had before. I'm going to get really close so you can see it. What shape is this? Or what shape is this? It kind of looks like a circle that got squished. What is it called when it's a circle that got squished? Oval. Yep, good job. This is called an oval. Okay. Then Our color is one we've done before too. I'm going to give you a hint. Ready? Pay attention. What is that? Do you remember that in sign language? This is the letter B, and you go like this. Correct. That is the color brown. Brown. Good job, guys. Okay, then we are doing something different today this week with our counting. Instead of having a number, we've already gone through all of our numbers, 1 clear up to 20, right? So instead of continuing and doing 21, 22, 23, we're going to count by tens. And we've already done this before. Do you remember when I pointed to the tiles on the floor down here and I said, okay, when you count little tiny counts, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But what happens if I start at 1 and I go skip, clear to 10, and then I skip 10 more, and then 10 more. That's called counting by tens. So that's what we're going to do this week. Do you see my pretty little picture right here? This is our counting by tens. Okay, and we're going to start here. We're going to count by tens. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, let's do that again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good job, guys. We're going to do this every day this week. Okay, and we'll probably do it next week as well. Okay, so there you go. That's counting by tens. Clear from 10 to 100. Okay, so now let's review our letters of the week. We have 3 new letters this week, and they're all going to be lowercase letters. So you guys ready? All right, I'm going to show you all 3 of them at the same time. All right, what letters are these? What's this one here? That is the letter M, and the M says, The M says, The M says, Every letter makes a sound. The M says, Good. What is this guy right here? That is a lowercase N. Good, N. And what does the N say? When you make the M sound, you put your lips together. When you make the N sound, you put your tongue behind your teeth. Good. The N says, The N says, Every letter makes a sound. The N says, Good. Okay, and what is this last guy right here? He looks just like his capital, doesn't he? But just smaller. This is the letter O. Good. And what sound does the O make? Does the O say ah? Yep, like octopus. Good. All right. The O says ah. The O says ah. Every letter makes a sound. The O says ah. Good. M, N, O. Good job, guys. Okay. This week, we are going to be learning a lot about reptiles and amphibians. Can you guys say reptiles? These guys right over here are reptiles. And amphibians. These guys right here are the amphibians. Okay, I'm going to get a little closer, and I'm sorry if this is wiggly because I don't have this one on a stand. Okay, so these are some of the reptiles. We have an American alligator and a Komodo dragon. And then that little guy, I don't even know how to say that. I think it's tuatara? Tuatara? Maybe? I should look that up. Then we have Wagler's pit viper and a frilled lizard. Look at that. See how those things on the side of his head open up right there? That would scare you off, wouldn't it? And then we have a green iguana, sea turtle. We already looked at that guy. Look at this tiny guy. He's called a dwarf gecko. And do you see what he's sitting on? He's sitting on a dime. That is how tiny the dwarf gecko is. He's so itty bitty, little tiny. And then this guy, that is the Australian saltwater crocodile. And he's really big. He can be really big. And this little guy, northern leaf-tailed gecko. Why do you think he's called a leaf-tailed gecko? Do you see his little tail right here? Kind of looks like a leaf. Do you think if he was up in a tree, he would hide really well? Yeah, he would. Okay, then we have the monocle cobra. Look at this guy. Look at that snake. And the desert tortoise. Where do you guys think the desert tortoise lives? Yep, in the desert. Good job. Then we have, oh, that's a whole picture of the Australian saltwater crocodile. Same as this guy. See that? Okay, and I have a question for you. You guys ready for this? What is the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? Do you guys know one of the differences? I'm going to give you a hint. Look at the crocodile's eyes. Do you see how they're kind of on his head? On the side of his head, kind of like ours are? Now look at the alligator. Look at his eyes. See how they poke up above his head? Boop. His eyes are more on the top of his head. Alligators have that. Also, alligators have teeth that are kind of on the outside of their mouth. Let's see if I can zoom in a little closer. See all those teeth? They kind of point out. They kind of poke out. So when they close their mouth, you can see their teeth. And on a crocodile, their teeth are more on the inside. And when they close their mouth, they don't all show like they do on an alligator. So that's two of the differences that I know of right offhand about an alligator and a crocodile. All right, so these guys are all called reptiles. And a reptile is an animal that has a backbone. Okay, we have a backbone inside of our backs, don't we? Are we reptiles? No. Let's see what else they have. They have scaly skin. So if you look really close, look at this guy's skin. See all the little scales on his skin? If they have scales for skin, then they're a reptile. We don't have scaly skin, huh? They are also cold-blooded. So their blood doesn't stay warm automatically like ours does. They have to go in the sun to get warm. Also, reptiles hatch from eggs. Do people hatch from eggs? Nope, because we're mammals. And they also have lungs and they breathe air. We have lungs and breathe air, but we don't have scaly skin or hatch from eggs. And we're not cold-blooded. Good job. Now, let's go over here and look at amphibians. These two can be a little bit confusing. Reptiles and amphibians can be a little confusing because they seem like they'd be the same thing, but they're not. So, the first one here, look at this little spotted salamander. Then we have the American toad, the greater siren. That's a cool looking guy, huh? Then we have a couple more. We have the spadefoot toad, the red spotted newt. We have the Red River mud puppy. I don't know, that doesn't really look like a puppy to me. Red River mud puppy. And this giant guy, he's not really that big, but he is a, what is he? He is a, some kind of salamander. I don't see where his name is. Then we have, oh, he's the giant salamander. There it is, it says right up there. Giant salamander. All right, then this little tiny guy right here, he's a poison dart frog. So that's not a frog you'd want to pick up. If you see a frog that looks like that, do not pick it up. But we don't have any of those here. Then down here we have the fire-bellied toad and the giant tree frog. And look at this little guy. Do you see this little guy right here? Monty Iberian tree frog. That is the tip of a finger. So that is how teeny tiny itty bitty that frog would be. And then we have the rubber, well, I'm going to try to say it. I'm going to say caecilian. And I think I say it wrong every time. Rubber caecilian. That is a wormy looking guy right there. So now amphibians are different from reptiles. And do you know why amphibians are different from reptiles? Amphibians have lungs, but only as adults. They can also absorb air through their skin. And they live in water and breathe through gills when they're little tiny. So when they're born, they're kind of more like fish. They have gills. And then they spend part of their lives in water and part of them on land. They do have a backbone, just like we do, but they're cold-blooded, like reptiles, and they have moist, wet skin. They don't have scales. So the differences between amphibians and reptiles, one of them is their skin. They don't have scaly skin. Amphibians don't. And amphibians start in the water and go through a metamorphosis where they turn into something that lives on land. And we're going to learn more about that next week when we talk about frogs. Good job, guys. Okay, so your worksheets for today are going to be in a packet that has a little sticker that says April 14 to 16 on it. So grab that whole packet and take off the paper clip and take off this little sticky note right here. And then the first packet the first worksheet you're gonna do is this guy right here. Okay, you're gonna start, it's a dot to dot. So you're gonna start on your letter A right here, this little dot. And you're gonna go all the way around the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and keep going and see what it's gonna make. And my guess is it's gonna be a reptile. I bet you guys already know what it is, but then you can color it when you're all done. Okay, the next worksheet, you're gonna write your name at the top. You're gonna grab this guy, it's called rough reptiles. And animals that are covered with rough, dry skin or scales belong to the reptile family. And so you'll notice all of these animals on here are reptiles. There's a turtle and a snake, and that looks like a salamander. He's actually an amphibian. And then that one is an alligator because his eyes are on top and his teeth are poking out. So you're going to trace the dotted lines around those reptiles and then you're going to color them. Okay, and your last worksheet is just a coloring page. You're going to find this picture of a snake. And what do you think that snake has right in the middle of his nest? Are those all of the eggs? I guess I should say middle of her nest. That is all of the snake's eggs because reptiles hatch from eggs. So just color this picture and don't forget to write your name. Okay, you guys should have gotten a bag that looks something like this. So what you're going to do is get into your bag, okay, and you're going to locate your markers, okay? So you're going to grab your markers and you're also going to go to your folder and you're going to grab your paper plates. You should have two paper plates, one that has a little thing cut out of the top and then a plain one like this, okay? So you're going to grab your markers and these plates and get ready to do your craft. Okay, now once you've grabbed your markers, on the back of your marker packet, and your markers might look a little different because they only had a couple of these, but on the very back is a little baggie. And in that baggie you should have a little googly eye. See, there's a googly eye and a little tiny copper thing that you're going to use to put your paper plates together. So keep that on there until you're all done, but you can get your markers out. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this paper plate off. You don't need this guy yet. And on this paper plate, you're going to color it, okay? You can color it however you want. You're just going to color the whole back of the paper plate so that it is so colorful. You're going to want to use all of your markers, okay? You're going to use all your markers and color them so pretty so that when you're all done, it kind of looks rainbowy, kind of like this guy. See how that looks? And you don't have to color it just like that, but just color it similar to that. So you've got a rainbow, okay? Then when you're all done with your rainbow on that plate, then you're going to take this plate and you're going to place it on top and take your little copper guy and you're going to put it through the hole. There should already be a hole on your plate. You're going to put it over and put the copper guy between the two and put them together so that they're attached. And then you attach your little googly eye. And that little guy is called a chameleon. Okay, and then if you want, you can paint leaves on the outside around your chameleon. And then I'll show you what happens once you attach it. Okay, once you have put your little copper guy here and you've attached your two plates and you've colored everything, then the really fun thing that you can do is you can twist the plate behind it. See how he turns colors? So there is a amphibian. He's like a lizard. And he is adaptable. So if he's hiding in green leaves, he would turn himself green so he can hide. And then if he was to go over and sit on a bright flower, then he could adapt his skin and change his color so that he matched the flower better and blended in. And I'm gonna read a story to you a little bit later this week about a chameleon that changes colors, but I wanted you to be able to make that fun craft so that when we get to our story, you'll know what that's about. And that's a really fun one. You can go show your mom and dad, and if you have any big brothers or sisters, or if you wanna try to do a video call with a grandma or grandpa, you could show them your really fun chameleon and how he changes colors. Okay, now let's read a story. It's a book called No Bunny's Perfect by Anna Dewdney. Every little bunny's good. They mostly do the things they should. But sometimes feeling sad or mad can make a little bunny bad. Bad bunnies grab, they do not share. They hit and kick, they don't play fair. They slurp their juice, they scream and shout. They burp and spit their carrots out. No please or thank you or pardon me. They fuss and whine and disagree. They scratch each other and squeal and fight. Instead of using words, they bite. No bunny's perfect, that is true. But aren't you glad this isn't you? Good bunnies try to do what's right. They use their words, they never bite. Instead of grabbing, they say please. They're nice to friends and they don't tease. They follow rules, they take their time. They do not push, they wait in line. They say hello and wave goodbye. They give a hug when someone cries. And when the day is warm and sunny, they share it with another bunny. No bad bunnies, no rude rabbits. Use your manners, have good habits. Be polite and kind and true. That's my bunny. Good for you. The end.